Oh yeah, it's time. Now I had to take about 8 days off. Like I said, I make videos when I feel like it, or the topic is a concern to me in boxing. But yeah, I'm taking this 1 month challenge. It's time. Yeah, it is time. And I'm taking this challenge, all right? The only other person that took this 1 month challenge to shut the F up was Big Knock, Nocturnal Thoughts. So I want you to listen to what he got to say, and I'm going to give you the reasons why, and I know the reasons why you don't like this challenge, okay? Subscribers and channels do not like this challenge. So I'm going to show you that, subscribers, you do have power to show proof and to let these channels shut the F up. So let's go listen to what Big Knock got to say about this challenge that he's taking when it was between Crawford and Errol Spence. Let's go.
And a salute to Captain 4G. Now, Captain 4G been coming out with a couple of videos that he titled Put Up or Shut Up. Now, I'm not going to say specifically who he's talking about, but I'm also saying I'm taking it as general Errol Spence fans also is welcome to this challenge. And his challenge is, you know what I'm saying, instead of putting so much value into money and betting money on this Errol Spence fight against Terrence Crawford, put your channel up. At first he said put your channel up for 2 months. Now he started to, you know what I'm saying, minimize it down to put it up for 1 month. And the thing is, if you picking Errol Spence and you've been talking about Errol Spence winning against Terrence Crawford, since you had your platform, put your channel up for 1 month after the fight. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about that subject no more. Don't say you can't talk about boxing. You can talk about other boxers, but you can't talk about the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight for a month. Now, to be honest with you, that's kind of a catch-22. You know what I mean? Because people already, for some reason, people want to see like Errol Spence channels or Terrence Crawford channels. They want to go to those platforms after whoever wins, so they can do all they I told you so's and nan and boo-boos and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like kind of like whoever you pick it, if you're wrong, you got to come back and at least make one video to eat your crow. And then after that, you know what I'm saying, you should ghost. And I say your whole platform for a month. But most definitely, the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford conversation, you know what I'm saying, can go on mute for a month. But I don't know all the rules that you want to put into this bet. I'm going to take it as a general bet. Any Errol Spence fan, if Terrence Crawford wins, then you can't talk about Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence for a month. The channel. That's for Captain Fuji. That's my brother from another, you know what I'm saying? That's my doppelganger. That's my kinfolk. That's a, you know what I'm saying? To me and him got more in common than we have opposite. I've always been solid, always gave him a proper salute. He's always given me a proper salute. Big Captain Fuji. You know, it's like iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. To me, it's like Antios. Antios, I was just reading about Antios. Antios, how do you say his name? It's a Greek mythological wrestler, you know what I'm saying? And his mother was like Mother Earth. And as long as he was on the ground, he was undefeatable. You know what I mean? So he would go through competition and kill them all because they would try to throw him to the ground and pin him to the ground. But that's where he got his strength from. And it took for Hercules to go up against him in war to figure out that no matter how many times you throw him down, he get back up stronger. So Hercules had to fight him and defeat him another way. You know what I'm saying? So I look at this as friendly combat. But it's also two warriors on the YouTube community, two warriors that's lifting each other up. The same thing that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is doing in actuality, even though people want to go and put them at odds and tear them down and all this. To me, they both building each other up legacy-wise. So in my opinion, YouTube communities can build each other up even if we disagree on who we think is going to win. I never was the type of person that felt like you got to tear down Terrence Crawford or tear down Errol Spence and put so much negativity on a fighter to say he ain't this and he ain't that, and his resume ain't this, and his life is all this negative tearing down shit. I say we lift it up and we build it up. At the end of the day, you know, Hercules had to lift up Antius to defeat him, to keep him off the ground. So, in my opinion, I really try to build somebody up and try to hold somebody down. Captain 4G, that's my brother from another, you know what I'm saying? That's my doppelganger, you know what I'm saying? That's my twin, that's just a like-minded soldier, a lot in common. Breaks down boxing from a totally different perspective than I break it down. But I always appreciate his point of views, you know what I'm saying? And he has a war mentality. I'm not going to say who he goes to war with, but go check out his channel and subscribe and you will see who he goes to war with. But I do take you up on your challenge. I do take you up on your challenge, Captain 4G, even though I would hate for you to go ghost for a month, because I look forward to all your content. And for most people who pick Terrence Crawford, I would like to see how they change their perspective when they come back video. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just want to hear, people already, I don't want to put this out in a negative way, but people trip me out when they say, after such and such win or such and such lose, what's going to be the excuse? We want to hear the excuse. I'm not the type of person that want to hear other people's excuses. Excuses and opinions to me is just like assholes. Everybody got one. Nobody else wants to hear yours. I don't care about hearing other people's excuses. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear people legitimately give a breakdown, honestly, of the fight if I respect their opinion. So even if you pick Terrence Bud Crawford and he loses, but I respect your way of breaking down the fight, I do want to come back around eventually to hear how your perspective, you know what I'm saying, was molded and changed by the outcome. If it was in, you know what I'm saying, opposite of what you was predicting. But I still feel like it's a great little bet to boost up a little anxiety and put a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, into that as far as everybody put all their value into money, and money is paper. I feel like I agree with Captain Full G. You know what I'm saying? Your word is your bond. Your word is born, and your word is your bond. If you got a platform, and you've been, you know what I'm saying, calling this fight for however many years long, and you got it wrong, it's cool for you to, you know what I'm saying, go to the drawing board for a month and go dormant and go silent, and, you know what I'm saying, either way, you do what you want. Everybody can do what they want to do with their channel. But with Captain Full G, I've been listening to him for a couple of weeks, break down his thoughts on his bet, on put up or shut up, and I like it. It makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like nobody should just ditch their whole channel for 2 months, but going 1 month without talking about that subject, you know what I'm saying, that would be hard to do. You know, that'd be hard to do. You know, I'm like the type of person that if I break my ankle, I like to try to walk it off. You know what I'm saying? So if I was to call this fight and say through and through, I'm very confident in Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying, winning against Terrence Bud Crawford, and he loses, the first thing I want to do is come back and make a video to talk about how I broke it down with no excuses. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing I want to do is lean into it. But at the same time, it would hurt to not be able to say nothing for a month. So put up or shut up. Captain Full G. I normally would like to wager pull-ups and push-ups and how much you can put on the bench press, and how much can you squat, and how much can you deadlift, or how many, you know what I'm saying, rounds can you put on the heavy bag, something like that. But I also like the bet of putting up your channel going silent for 1 month after the fight. So if you want to, you know what I'm saying, leave me a comment in the comment section below and say we got a deal, I salute it, we locked in. You know what I'm saying? You have my word. If I see your comments from you that say, let's make it a bet, you have my word that if the fight don't go the way I predicted it, or see it coming out, you know what I'm saying? I think prediction is a strong word, you know what I'm saying? I got Errol Spence winning. If he lose, I won't talk about the subject for a cold, solid month. If you respond back and you say you want to do the same thing, not to them thoughts, those are my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Salute, salute, salute. Bye.
All right, so that was Big Knock. Go subscribe to him. So people say he lost, but he just won one. Let me say that again. People think he lost the challenge, but he just won one. What a bang bang. You know what I'm saying? Because he just showed to his subscribers that he's a man of his word. He has integrity. Okay? He's a man of his word. So the challenge was, you know, I was a little bit extreme in the beginning. 2 months, you shut your channel down. You can't talk about boxing. You can't talk about nothing, because you remember this fight was 5 years. It took 5 years. This was a big fight. And we kept going tit for tat, toe for toe, blow for blow on who's going to win, right? Just like Mayweather and Pacquiao. That took years. So I felt like in this challenge, put up or shut up, you have so much to say, yet, right? And the way I see it, the positive and negative, it seems like they always got to connect, because the subscribers that's looking at the other channels, right, and they want to prove them wrong, they have a hard on to go over there and say, aha, I told you so, Errol's going to lose. But you never win that way. So I hear this catch-22 that Big Knock's saying, because we want to have some kind of gratification to go over to them and say, well, you said that Errol Spence was going to win. But it never works that way, because they always find a way out. Let me give you an example. If you have Errol Spence, right now, if you have a channel, you'll say, well, listen, if Errol Spence loses, this is the reasons why he might lose. And then if Errol Spence do lose, you'll come back and say, see, I told you, if Errol Spence didn't do this, or Errol Spence didn't do that, Crawford was going to capitalize on him. The channel has the way of always sounding right. Yeah, always sounding right. Let me give you another example. We got Manager Marty. We got Best Fight the Best. We got Knockout 86. You know, Best Fight the Best, Top Rank Toby. We got Ego, Fagnong. We got these channels that's aerosexuals, right? Showbiz too, you know. Finally, I mean, he's an aerosexual, man, okay? Still love you like a play cousin, but you're an aerosexual, okay? And I still go subscribe to Showbiz. I still watch you. It's not a big deal, okay? But can you imagine the power that these subscribers have? Do you have the power to say, you have 1 month to shut the F up and don't talk? Well, let me show you what minuses out. All the nonsense and all the buffoonery. What that minus out is, well, oh man, Errol Spence had a rib injury. Oh man, Crawford, he was on drugs. He's on PEDs. Oh man, Errol Spence was high. He didn't look himself. Oh man, Errol Spence was a clone. So we minus these channels if they're man enough to take the test, take the challenge, a 1 month challenge. And the 1 month challenge is, right? And this is what I told Big Knock, man, because this challenge was really not for Big Knock. And when he took it, I was like, damn, why my man take this challenge? But then I'm like, you know what? He's a real man, and he heard me. A lot of channels heard me, but they act like they didn't hear me. Even Crawford channels, they heard me, but they didn't want to take the heat. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm the one that came up with this challenge and I'm the one that came up of this idea, but I saw a bigger picture. The bigger picture was this, that when you minus out these channels, that's going to give you negative energy, not also to the channels that's for Crawford, but for the boxer. Because you imagine this, the boxer just won, 2-time undisputed, but you got all this negative energy overlapping the positive energy. And they will overlap the positive energy because they're bigger channels. Ego, Fagnan, Best Fight the Best. The ones that's got the negative energy for Crawford, it will prevail. So what I said to myself, knowing from past examples, moving on to the future and now into the present, that I said, listen, take this 1 month challenge. When it comes to 5 years waiting for a fight, like May and Pac and Errol and Crawford, the outcome you cannot talk about. You cannot talk about the outcome. You can't talk about the outcome. If your fighter lost, you can't talk about the outcome. And that's very powerful. And that also helps the boxer move on. The boxer can move on and have good energy for just 1 month. You say, well, 1 month. 1 month is good enough. That puts a head start to positive energy for that boxer to move on, right? And also the Terrence Crawford channels or whatever channel your opponent's on, okay? I am doing this 1 month challenge with Boo Boo, DEMETRIUS, and BENAVIDEZ. Right now, I like both of them. I really like both of them, but I can't decide which one I'm going to pick. But if that opponent loses, if my fighter loses, I shut down for a month. Now, Big Knock, I had to fix the rules here and there. First, it was 2 months, and I didn't want, and then a lot of channels like, man, 2 months, right? They complain. Aerosexual channels like Knockout 86, he complained on Main Man's channel. I got the clip of that, of me and him going back and forth, and Main Man was in the middle, and he's like, come on, y'all dudes, calm down and shit like that. And I was like, yo, bro, why don't you take a 2 month challenge? And after that, you can't talk about boxing for a month. And I was a little extreme, right? So something that Knockout said, that said, you know what, let me remix this challenge. And the challenge was 1 month, and you could talk about any other boxer and their outcome after they fight, but you can't talk about Errol Spence and Crawford. And the reason why I said that, and I'm saying it also benefits the boxer, and it doesn't benefit the channel. You know why it don't benefit the channel? Because they can't make money off it. They can't make money off of negative comments, negative content. You see, that's the bigger picture. And this is how you get rid of this virus. This virus, because when you got channels calling him Top Rank Toby, right? He's on drugs, right? Oh, I'm not saying he's on drugs, but you know, Snack is a really great product. You know, all this indirect, you know, bullish, right? Then we could stop that for a month, right? And then these channels, you know, they F you in the ear from left to right to left, you know, they feed off of your emotions that you like a certain boxer, and they feed off of that, and you like, yeah, I don't like Crawford, or I don't like Mayweather, I don't like Pacquiao, and they feed off of that. And they're not just feeding off of that, they're making money off of that. So when you do something like this and you say, hey man, you know, you got a lot of talk, you got a lot of yapping. You know, you've been for Aerosmith for 5 years. Why don't you just shut your channel down and don't say anything about the outcome? They won't do it. They won't do it. You know why? Just like a politician, it's all about the money. They want you to hear them talk, yap, and feed off your emotional. And every day you got a hard on to hear them say something more worse about an opponent that you don't like, that your fight is going to fight, right? And you feed off of that and you let it go. You keep going. But when another channel say, look, shut your channel down for 1 month. Now, you can talk about any other boxer and their outcome, but you can't talk about this one that we talked about for 5 years. Oh, no, they're not going to do it. Just like a politician will say this and not do that. Say this, but not do that, right? So there's a way that, and I'm just going to give you examples. I like showbiz, they're dope. But the last thing I heard, well, let you listen to what he said, right? Because it's going to be a part 2. Like I said, it's been 8 days since I haven't done a video. 8 days, right? So the analytics, I'm sure I'm not going to get a lot of views, and I don't have Instagram to connect. So listen, my subscribers that's with me, that's been with me from day one, they know that I go to war with these channels. And I have channels that, like Big Knock, I don't have his phone number. I don't keep in contact with him. I got a lot of channels that I have a lot of respect for, and they give me inspiration. I say, hey, go subscribe to that channel because I like what they pushing, right? And then there's channels out here that I don't like what they pushing, and I use an example. I'm not one of those Fosse niggas that's gonna like, I don't like what they're saying, so I'm not gonna listen. Oh, I'm gonna listen. Oh yeah, I'm gonna listen, and I'm gonna use an example. You know how we have good examples of being good and bad? That's a part of life. So I play my part in life. From the example that life shows me about examples and how people say, I've been through this. Oh, but the young man gonna look and say, well, I don't care what you've been through. I haven't. I need to go through it. Okay, young blood, go ahead, go through it then, right? But there's young men that listen, take heed to an example of a man that been through shit and say, you know what? I ain't gonna go through that path. You know, I'm not gonna go through that path. So I am here to do my part. So Showbiz just recently came out with another nonsense, right? Talking about, well, you know what? Let's follow through real quick.
Mike Bites. Let me see. Wasn't Spence drug tested? Wasn't Spence drug tested though? Your point? Wasn't Spence drug tested? What do you guys think? Spence was drug tested. Yeah? Y'all know what we got? Let me tell you what we got. Let me tell you what we got. We got the damn receipt. Receipts, mother! He was drug tested. But we have a tweet, the receipts from Victor Conte. And what did Victor Conte have to say? You guys know he's with VADA. Let's see what he had to say. Somebody asked him, was Errol and Terrence on the VADA drug testing protocol? Just asking for a friend. Victor Conte said, yes, both Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence did stringent VADA testing for 8 weeks of camp and fight night. In my opinion, the lack of drug testing transparency by the Premier Boxing and TGB promotions is unacceptable. Clean boxing should be a priority for all involved. Blue blood. Let me see. Salute, great brother. Now, you know damn well they're going to start saying, saying Mike Tyson drug Errol. Mike Tyson, they do. That's my brother. LOL. Keep being a great brother. Love you like a play cuz. And that's what they're going to say, brother. But that's not me. I'm just grabbing shit from the air. It's all over the internet. We asked, was he drug tested? Were they drug tested? Certainly they were. He said they both were drug tested. They both did stringent VADA testing for 8 weeks of camp and fight night. In my opinion, the lack of drug transparency is unacceptable. Let me ask you guys this. I'm not saying anybody failed. No, I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is, where's the results of the drug test? Victor Conte said, I just want some transparency. Am I cooking?
All right, so Biz, you're not cooking, okay? But I'm not here. I'm just showing you examples of all the excuses. Now, his thing, after somebody said he was drug tested, his thing is where's the drug test? What? That's something that the PBC doesn't show. That's also something that Vital doesn't show. Vital only notify you when the fighter takes successfully and completes successfully. That's all they do. Okay. That's between the PBC, the manager, the advisor, blah blah blah, to give those notifications out about the drug test. All right. But this is the same thing about you making excuses for Errol Spence. And the funny thing is, you see, it's all about these channels. It's not even about the boxer, because if it was about what the boxer's saying, Errol Spence, he's a man. He didn't come up with an excuse. But these channels are not going by the example of their fighter that lost. Errol Spence lost, and he has not one excuse. But all these channels have excuses. They're all distractions. These are viruses in boxing. And that's why I say take 1 month off. You might say, well, there's Twitter and they could do it on Twitter. It doesn't matter. Take 1 month off, because you're showing that, well, can that content creator take a challenge? Because it is about put up or shut up. I mean, this is all we do over here on the channel. It's talk. We talk. And then I heard one time, it was Knockout 86. Yo, man, I made my videos. It took a long time to make my channel, and I'm not shutting my channel down for no boxer. You're not shutting your channel down for no boxer for 1 month. I mean, you do talk about boxers. That's what made your channel. Hello? That's what made your channel. Talking about boxers. So you're telling me something that we waited 5 years to see, and you can't put up or shut up for 1 month? Because your channel matters more than the boxer. It does. It's all about it's all about your philosophy. That's what it is. It's all about your, it's a lot about everything, man. But the way I see it, Big Knock, what he did was, he had the option to talk about other boxers. He didn't even do that. He kept quiet for a whole month. He didn't even say, you know what? I know the rules. I know it's 1 month. I could talk about all the other boxers. He just said, you know what? You might think I lost one, but I just won one. Yeah. And he did. And it wasn't sooner than later. It was later than sooner with me, because I recognized when you took the challenge, right? And I said, thumbs up, show your emoji with an arm. And I didn't really say much, but I said, I know I'm going to say a lot. I know I'm going to say a lot, because what he did is show that he has character, and he's a man of his word. He's a man of his word. And if I'm looking at a channel and a channel like him, regardless if we go, we never have the right person winning, right? I would check him out. I'll keep looking at him. And I know I'm not wasting my time, whether it's something I'm not listening that I don't like to hear from him, or it's something that I do like hear from him. I know I can listen to that man. He's a man of his word, of integrity. He's willing to take a challenge. Our channels are based upon boxers. And then when you say, well, I'm not going to do that because, I built my channel, blah, I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that. Take the 1 month challenge and dispose of yourself out of boxing, because you run your mouth. We all run our mouth. We all feed off our people emotions. The people who watches us, we feed off of their emotions. Now, if we're doing it purposely or we're not doing it purposely because we're just a fan, it is what it is. But you can't make money off negative energy about a fighter that's won 2 times undisputed. You got to sit in the corner and shut the F up. That's what you got to do. And that whole month, it'll be positive. And that's good for the channels. And that's good for the boxer. That's the way I see it. Now, it's been 8 days. I know the analytics. I might probably get 50 views of this. Maybe 300 views. But like I said, I don't have Instagram. I ain't trying to get Instagram. I'm good with YouTube. I'm good with it. And I listen to what's going on Twitter with the drama. When these boxers, they have drama, whatever. And, they have drama every day. But think of it this way. When a fighter don't have a good performance, when a fighter doesn't do what is expected of him to do, what happens? People go on Twitter, people go on YouTube, and hey, man, that fighter got to suck it up. They got to suck it up. So, again, the content creators, you can't suck it up for a month. And I keep saying, a lot of people say it's a catch-22 because you're letting these channels get off. But no, they're not getting off easy. I'm going to explain to you why they're not getting off easy. Because when Errol lost, if 7 of these big channels kept quiet and didn't say a word, right? And they took the challenge. And me, a Crawford fan, went on their channel and I said, yeah. And I kept bothering them and stressing them about, yeah, you was wrong. You know they're reading it. Oh, they're reading it. And they can't respond to it. They just got to look at it. Just like how these boxers look at negative energy coming off of loss or bad performance. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to shut my Twitter down. I can't because mentally it's bothering them. You got to mentally F these dudes too. That's doing this. Yeah. So if I got Crawford winning and you got Errol and Errol lost and you had so much yap, you had so much chitter-chatter and talk, and you know so much about this fight and you know Errol Spence was going to win, and I get back to you and say, yo, you lost, blah, 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 and I'm instigating, I'm getting on your nerves. Well, suck that shit up, nigga. Yeah, learn how to shut the F up and suck it up. Or if you can't suck it up, don't look at it. And now you feel how it feels what these boxers go through, physically and emotionally. I ain't making no excuses for them, but it comes with the territory, including me. It comes with the territory. I might say some good shit and I might say some bad shit that they might not like. It's in the eye of the beholder. That's all it is. So, as you see, Showbiz talking about, we need to see, you know what, and it's, you know that saying, walk by faith, not by sight? It's another thing. You can have evidence right there in your face. Let me give you another example before I leave about evidence in your face, okay? Because there's been a lot of talk about Boots and Bud been ducking Boots and blah, blah, blah. But let me give you an example right here. Watch.
You know what I mean? We was trying to set up a fight with him last month because BLK people called us. I said, yeah. We'll take him in a heartbeat, just like that, right? And they said, all right, let's sit down and talk. I said, oh, you got to talk to my people first, though. Showtime. Yes, sir. I never signed nothing with Showtime. With no signing, no contract. See, I'm loyal to Showtime because I'm going to tell y'all.
You know, if there's going to be a Boots and a fight between Boots and Crawford, there are easier ways to do it without, going through them.
All right, so I'm showing you, it's the eye of the beholder, right? Stay up. It's the eye of the beholder. And how do you take that? Because everybody's saying that Crawford's ducking Boots. But if in the beginning, if you're listening, Wakandas, if you're listening, he said Black Prime came to Boots Ennis' father, and presented them with a fight. Who did they present a fight with? And Boots Ennis said, oh yeah, we'll take that fight. And that fight was with Crawford. So Crawford came to Boots Ennis, right? Black Prime came to them and say, we want to fight with your son. So I don't see how somebody would say that Crawford's ducking Boots Ennis when this fight from Black Prime was presented to them. But it's not that your vision is blurry, you're ignorant. And your ignorance makes you blind, right? Then you hear that Espinosa said, well, we spoke to Black Prime, but it really doesn't make any sense making a fight because if they have to go through them, then there's no sense of making the fight. Okay, well, that's one. Showtime is bigger than Black Prime. They do not want to do business unless the business is in control 100% with Showtime. That's two. Well, that's three. Two is, Boziana said that we're not signed to Showtime. So if you're not signed to Showtime, but you're loyal to them, there's no ink on paper. You're loyal to them? All right, we'll show your loyalty. Say, listen, man, Mr. Espinosa, we're loyal to you. But what we're going to do to show our loyalty, we're going to go over here, Black Prime is asking us to fight Crawford on their platform, right? But this is what we're going to do for you, Showtime and Espinosa. We're going to go and get that belt off of Crawford. And we're going to be your champion on your Showtime, on your network. How that sound, Espinoza? Well, Espinoza didn't like that, right? But these are the moves that Bozy Ennis and Bruce Ennis could have done. Just saying, we're loyal. No, it's ink on paper that's loyal. That's what's loyal, right? Because we know this network, big network takes small network, all right? But if you really wanted that fight, since there's no ink on paper, you could have gone over there and get the fight. That is so simple. So the actions speak louder than the words. Your actions was that I didn't want to take a risk with my son fighting this prime Bud Crawford. Okay, that's the problem. This is what I'm learning right here. This is what I know, but I don't understand how you don't see step by step by step. The next step is that Bruce Ennis, he was in the sanction body. He was in the same sanctioning body, WBO. We all know this. And he decided, and he was number one, right? He was right up there to fight Crawford. Instead of staying there and staying with the IBF in both, he decided to take himself out of the WBO, be in the IBF, right? Interim, and decided to go for Spence. 2 actions. So we all see that. I'm just showing you examples that this virus talk that be going on, we can end this for 1 month and get a head start on them by just doing our part as subscribers. Subscribers, you got the power. You got the power in the blood. All you got to do, I'm giving you solutions. And people don't want to hear solutions because people love the good and they love the bad and they love the yin and they love the yang and they love to go back and forth. But just like Big Knock says, everybody got an asshole. Excuses are like everybody got an asshole. So why would I want to hear people excuses and false narratives and negative narratives that's overlapping the good? And the good is this man is 2-time undisputed. Whether you don't like him out the ring, there's a lot of fighters I don't like out the ring, but I got to give them their respect inside the ring. That's it. Errol Spence is another one. He didn't make no excuses. So you're going to tell me, as a subscriber, as someone that doesn't like how I talk or the way I look, because there's a lot of people I just don't like the way they look, and that's just a reason not to look at them, right? Or not to like them, because you don't like the way they look. Maybe somebody in past history did something, and that person looked like them, okay? Human beings are very sensitive. They're very sensitive and emotional. They vote on emotions. They do everything on emotions. So what I'm saying is show the proof in the pudding is say, yo, your channel over there, man. Show me what you about. Show me if you got integrity. Show if you can stand on your square, on your word. And if they got excuses on that, then you know you can't trust what they're saying. That's easy. That's easy work right there. It's simple like that. I'm putting you in a position to show me that you can shut up for a month. And you can't do that? All right, I'll listen to you, but, you know, it's just entertainment. It's not something emotionally that I could strike up anything. So that's what I'm saying. So now, let me move on. I know I'm not going to get a lot of views on this probably, but this is on Benavidez and DEMETRIUS ANDRADE, and I'm going to pick one of them. Man, I'm looking at both of them. They got their weaknesses. They got their strength. And I'm going to put my channel up for a month. And this is not like a Mayweather and Pacquiao. This is not like an Errol Spence and Crawford. So I'll still talk about other boxers. But, man, you know, Big Knock, he made the level so high that I don't even want to talk about other boxers. But that is there. But for me, I'm taking this challenge. I took the challenge already before, but I won. But I never lost. But even when I lose, I still won. I still won one. So, with my subscribers, because these are the people that's listening to me. You see what I'm saying? And I got to show some kind of proof that I'm a man of my word. So even if I lose one, I still won one. Big Knock, go subscribe to him. Nocturnal Thoughts. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between lines. And this is a part 1. Part 2 will come out again because then I have to give you a prediction of who I'm going to pick. And if that fighter don't win, I come back. I show you that I'm going to eat my crow. And I'm going to say, have a good day. Capsule Food will be off for a month. And it is what it is. Listen, I do listen to the other boxers when they come on Twitter. I don't have Instagram. So if you got Instagram subscribers and you want to show an example of how to get rid of these viruses, right? Put it on your Instagram. I got no problem with it, man. And spread the word, man. Just spread the gospel, yo. There you go. And how to get rid of viruses. Because I'm giving you a solution. Instead of going back to them and fighting back and forth. Because you can spend all your money with Wakanda, bet all your money with Wakandas. Wakandas will leave. When it's time to pay up, they will leave. You see how they quiet? You see how Errol Spence, he lost and he's quiet. Right? These are examples. People bet you money, they disappear. They quiet. Errol Spence lost, he quiet. He been quiet for a couple months. Yeah, he might come on Twitter and talk about some other stuff, but he ain't talking about other boxers, and he definitely ain't talking about himself. He gone with the wind, right? So silence is golden, and silence is virtue. That's why I always say I'm never here to change your mind, because your vision is not blurry. It's just blind by ignorance and being ignorant. Just that's what it is. And you can never change somebody's mind when they're blinded by their ignorance. It is simple. So I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. And not what they say is what they're not saying. Big knock. I'm going to take the challenge. And, hey, I have to step up, man. Yeah, this is not a 5-year fight that we've been craving for. So I might just do what you do, man. And not even talk about other boxers for a month either, man. I'll figure that one out. But there's going to be a part 2 to this. And stay tuned. And like I said, this one, the analytics, I haven't been out for like 8 days. Like I said, these boxers, they sneeze, they fart, you know, they go back and forth with each other. I can't every minute. When this boxer say this, then that boxer say that. I got to make a video when they sneeze, fart, or shit the wrong way. I can't. I'm not a lion. I'm a tiger. Okay. And I roam alone. I'm a one-man army, yo. Okay. I'm a Sigma, not an Alpha. So certain things that I do say, this is a hobby for me. I love talking about boxing, but sometimes I just get a little bit fed up and I just don't want to be talking about detail shit. It's not that you're doing something wrong, content creators. It's just how I feel. Sometimes I just don't deal with the detail shit. I just get straight to the point. All right. So I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. Not what they say is what they're not saying. Stay tuned for a part 2 because I will keep sticking with this 1 month challenge. And subscribers, listen to what I'm saying so you could try to get this virus out of here for at least 1 month and have the positive overrule the negative for just 1 month of good messages. It works for you and your channel, and it works for these boxers that got to go through all this pressure with hearing these narratives, negative narratives, and false narratives. Yo, I'm out. 1.